In the second of the Malaya Environmental Systems Offaly Senior Hurling Championship quarter-finals, it was Belmont who would face off against Birr. Belmont, having never beaten Birr in Senior Hurling Championship, looking to advance to the semi-finals for the second time in their history. Both sides faced off in Boardnamona O'Connor Park in Tullamore, with Birr going into the match slight favourites. It was Birr who would start the quickest, with Stephen Lonergan winning possession, getting it out as far as midfielder Craig Taylor, and Taylor off the left-hand side popped over the game's opening score. It was Birr who were playing with a strong breeze in that first half, and they looked to make good use of it as Colin Mulrooney nipped in, got a good score to double Birr's advantage, 2 points to no score. Owen Cahill drifted in a good sideline for Birr once again as Birr looked to continue their early dominance. Tom Budger looked to be true on goal. He was smothered up, but it got the shot away with the boot, and it just went over Barry Egan's crossbar. Stephen Lonergan again turned provider, got the ball out as far as Paul Cleary. Cleary with a quick hand pass back as far as centre half back Barry Harding, and he launched over a fine score from midfield, aided by that stiff breeze to give Birr the perfect start. Owen Cahill then with a brilliant piece of skill once again, a noted sideline cut and free taker, and that was a brilliant sideline cut curling in over the bar to get Birr's 5th point of the game. Belmont were slow to get into the game, but they soon got their opening score through Joe Maher. He popped over from 21 metres out off his left hand side, but Birr still held a 5-point lead. It was youngster David Nally, one of the most impressive hurlers in the championship this year. He got his first score from a free, bisecting the post from a narrow angle, and after 18 minutes, Birr still led by 4. But Belmont were slowly starting to get into the game as Colin Egan won that ball, and once again Joe Maher came back onto that left-hand side, and he popped over his second score. Birr continued to have most of the possession in this first half with that win at their backs, and again Colin Mulrooney just drifting out to the wing. He got another good score off his right hand side to keep Birr's lead intact. And then a brilliant score once again, almost a trademark score by Brian Watkins. Collected the ball at halfway and launched it from distance over the bar. Another superb score by Birr's man of the match. Belmont continued to work forward as Colin Egan, under pressure, got that ball away, and it just reached enough to get over Brian Mullins' crossbar as the clock ticked down into the final minutes of the half. David Nally was starting to find his range with frees and 65s, this time popping over a good 65 to narrow the gap to 4 in favour of Birr. With every score counted approaching the half-time mark, it was Nally who got the last score of the half to leave just 4 between the sides as Belmont got the last 2 points of the half. And at half-time, it was Birr who went in with a 4-point lead. Birr 11, Belmont 7. In the second half, it was going to be Belmont to play with that strong breeze at their back, and it proved in the first game in that senior B to be a telling factor as David Nally at ease launched over a long-range free to maintain Belmont's growth into this game. And they continued further ahead, getting the second score of the half as that made it 4 in a row for Belmont once again as they looked to claw into Birr's lead. Belmont continued to play the better stuff, and it was sub David Kelly who turned provider in as far as Maher once again, and Maher's shot just deflecting over Brian Mullins' crossbar as Belmont looked to reduce the gap to just 1 point as they now led Birr. It was a penalty here for Birr, one of the game's deciding moments, as Owen Cahill much fancied to beat Barry Egan. He struck his shot high towards the corner, but Egan was eagle to with a brilliant save as Birr looked to pile the pressure on. It was Colin Mulrooney looked to try and get a goal for Birr, but it was kept out on the line. Birr looked like they were shouting that it was going to be over the line, but it was Emmett Nolan who eventually, with a flick of the wrist, got a point, but much to Birr's protestations. It was Belmont now who were doing the chasing. They continued to attack up front with a good score going over the bar there by Damo Egan as the game toed and froed approaching the last 8 to 9 minutes. It was Cahill once again with a change of the helmet after an earlier breakage on the face guard, leveled the game once again at 13 points apiece. Birr now looked to be getting the purple patch once again, and Emmett Nolan was growing increasingly influential in the match, and Nolan got a good score for Birr to put them 1 ahead with 2.5 minutes to play. It was Tom Bulger then who rode 2 challenges from Belmont, eventually getting the ball up, cutting back into his left, and much to the delight of the Birr support, he put them 2 ahead with less than 15 seconds remaining in the game. It looked like Birr had done enough, but their stalwart fullback David Kenny burst out of the fence. He sent a long ball in the direction of Oisin Kelly. Kelly couldn't control it, but he done enough to break the ball to David Cox, the captain with the overlap, and it was Damien Egan up from wing back, and Egan, as composed as you like in O'Connor Park, buried the ball underneath Brian Mullins, the Birr goalkeeper. And with that, Belmont looked to get their place in the semi-final, and they capped off getting the last score of the game by Shane Nally from 55 metres out. And with that, such a quick turnaround as Belmont clutched victory from the jaws of defeat to reach the semi-final for the second time in their history. It finished Belmont 1 goal and 14, Birr 15 points after high drama.